I was at Potter's house, and I'd come from uh I'd had an accident, and sort of engaged in schizophrenia for the first time. And then I sort of it was in my final 6 months at CIT. I was recovering from an accident um, during my office administration course, which I had to extend an extra 6 months because I couldn't finish my final semester because of the accident. So I got an extension, and got everything covered. I ended up passing everything well enough and getting my qualification. But November 95, I started going to Potter's house in Piers in Woden. And I was in a group house for a bit, and at home at times here at 29 Merriman. And during this time, I started doing, after I'd finished my studies and everything, started doing volunteer work at St. Vincent de Paul in Woden in the Phillip office to sort of to make that look good on my resume. And it worked because I got a temp contract later on at DEETCHA, Department of Employment, Education, Training, and Youth Affairs. It wasn't DEET, it was DEET, yeah. And then, which was Public Service Temp, which I was at process, and then off to Aquis, which was UPC time anyway. But I worked at the Phillip office, and I was in the office upstairs, which is the Woden area, in Phillip, which is the district which the Woden Plaza, the suburb which Woden Plaza is in, is actually the suburb of Phillip. Um, Woden is the district of all the suburbs, the Woden district of Canberra, and which is made up of suburbs. And in the centre of the Woden district is the Woden Plaza, which is in the suburb of Phillip. Woden Plaza is the mall, Woden Shopping Mall, which is, I think it's called Westfield as well. I think it's a Westfield one. But across the road from the mall, you're going south towards Mawson. Yeah, Mawson. You have, before you get to Mawson, you get the Phillip, the rest of Phillip, which is a shopping area, which is not part of the mall. It's a shopping area separate, and it's made up of there's one main road which goes through the centre of it from north to south or south to north, and sort of circuits. There's about three main circuits within it, which are all the same size, all the same layout, and one of the circuits is St. Vincent de Paul. And up the road from it, on the same circuit, on the same street, is Salvation Army up on the other side of the circuit across the main central road. And it's on the north side of the circuit. And upstairs, there's a standard St. Vincent de Paul store downstairs, just a regular store. It's not even a huge one. It's not even very big. I don't think anything's changed, but it's not even a huge store. It's just a standard store. It's not as big as the Tuggeranong store by any means, and it's not as big as the one in Curtin, which is in Woden District as well, which is a bigger store. I think a little bit bigger, but possibly, yeah, a little bit bigger probably. But it's a small store. It's not huge, but possibly regular for a Vinnie's store because they're not. I haven't seen a huge amount of Vinnie's stores over the years. Some towns I've been to Vinnie's stores here and there, especially in younger years. When Mum and Dad took us out as kids a bit, we got to a Vinnie's store down the coast somewhere once. I'm not sure if we went in, but like Berry or I don't think it was Braidwood, Berry or I don't think it was Ulladulla. It could have been Ulladulla or Milton or something. Somewhere around there was a store we went past or something. We just saw it or something. But the one in Woden, I was upstairs. Now the upstairs is a bit bigger than the store beneath. It might take up more room, I think. But I was up there and I was doing work experience, and just all that it was involved with was that I did have a computer of my own, where I was doing typing, not typing, just I can't remember. It was just office admin stuff, and I was only there for I don't know, a couple of weeks, maybe a few weeks, maybe doing some basic office admin tasks for the people there. There was a guy called Dick. Dick wasn't Dick Archer. It was Dick. He called me Daniel. Daniel. He'd call. I remember he called me on one occasion. Mum would know his name because Mum knew him, and it was Mister. I think it was Mister Wilson or something. Colin Wilson or something. He was one of the. He was the head guy there, I think, and he had the office or something. I think it was Dick Archer. Could have been Dick Archer as well. Dick something else. And he worked there, and there was a lady there as well, and there was some other people as well. And they did the central administration for St. Vinny's in Canberra, I think it was. I think it was the Canberra head office for most, but I think it's the main office there. So I was just doing typing and helping out with a bit of this and that and office setting. I can't remember all the things which went on, but I do remember that there was work involving the twins. I learnt about St. Vincent de Paul's twinning arrangements, that a, uh, a Vinnie's sort of parish or something in Australia has a twin overseas, and usually it's often in Asia or Africa or something, I think, and they often help out their twin. It's called a twinning thing, and I had work with on spreadsheets. I think it was probably involving twinning, and there might have even been possibly mail out. I think there might have been mail out work which I was doing as well. Now, one of the ladies there, she sort of did the one of the office workers took care of me and sort of gave me the work that I was doing. I asked if I could do some volunteer work. I inquired, and they didn't seem to mind. And sort of, I'm not sure if it went through my inquiry or not. I might have strengthened them up myself, but I did give the work there. I think there was an Asian lady also who was a younger lady who was doing volunteer work there, and who yeah, she was, and I ran into her about 4 years later or something like that, when I was looking for work after I'd left Aquas. I was still briefly looking for work for a while, and she was working at a place in Fishwick, I think it was, where I was a printers or something like that. It was in an office, and I was applying for a job there. It was that lady again, and I recognized her, and she recognized me, and she was like 20 or something like that, somewhere around there. But she was there briefly. I can't remember her name. But the lady who I worked with at Vinnie's, she had a Bible. Well, they're Catholics, and I remember she had a bookmark or something in the Bible. And I just had a brief look, and it was on the book of Ecclesiasticus, I think it was, or Wisdom of Solomon or something like that. It was Wisdom of Solomon, which she was obviously reading at the time or something. Mr. Wilson and Dick, I can't remember Mr. Wilson's first name, and Dick, I can't remember his surname, but and I think there was some other people there as well. But this was back in 1995, wasn't it? And sort of 90, early 96 potentially. I can't remember the exact timing, but it was a long time ago now. But I enjoyed that, and those working in the office there, and I think there was sort of tea cake time, if you know what I mean. There was morning supper time. That might have just been on Fridays or something. I can't remember for sure, but it was, and I do remember going across the street. There's a cafe across the road on the other side of the circuit, where I went to eat once, or maybe more than once. Where I'd had my lunch, I think, and I think I also brought my lunch at times. And between in the circuit, in the center of each circuit, there's a central sort of block of land where they have a grassland where there was seats as well. And I think I had lunch on that once or twice as well. So I could go check now, and but the people. This was many years ago, and I think most of the people have probably moved on, probably in retirement, and some might even be dead now. I wouldn't really know. I think Dick is dead. I think I'm not 100% sure on that. I think he died a while back, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, they were. That's more memories from my experiences with Saint Vincent de Paul, and generally I have pretty good memories with Saint Vincent de Paul, all things considered. But that was yeah, yeah. There you go. Jeez.